Station when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader. KBLA Talk 1580. Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcasts of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Follow the leader. Oh my God. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
The boy is mine. The boy is mine.
The boy is mine. The boy is mine. The boy is mine.
Excuse me, can I please talk to you for a minute?
Sure, you look kind of familiar.
Yeah, you do too. But I just wanted to know, do you know somebody named... You know his name.
Oh yeah, definitely. I know his name.
But I just want to let you know that he's mine.
No, he's mine.
Welcome in. You are locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Shout out to Brandy and Monica. Shout out to those of you that sang both parts like I did, because it's not a duet. Maybe it's me against me. You know, the real challenge. You are locked in with Jill Munroe here on KBLA to get all of your trending topics and headlines right here. And we have a lot to get into tonight. Of course, Andy's always on theme. So, Brandy and Monica, specifically, The Boy Is Mine, that is on deck for tonight. We got some news related to both of them and that song in particular. Kind of excited about it, too. And your girl, Keke Palmer, she is tired of the double standards. She says she should be allowed to date a man in whatever tax bracket she likes. The expectations are too much. We'll get into that. And James Harden, the old adage, be careful of the company you keep. It just might cost you. He has a house party, or he had, a house party that, might cost him a little bit more than the champagne. So we'll get into the details of that. And we're going to talk a little Angela Oakley and the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Boy, this season has been a lot and nothing. Plus, more trending topics and headlines. So before we get into all of that, we have to start the night with a couple of conversation starters. So first up, happy 39th birthday to Solange Knowles, Miss Solo star herself, true Cancer. She recently popped out on Instagram looking fantastic. Tina Knowles, Matthew too, he's part of it. How fly is it that they birthed two different it girls with two completely different types of personalities and interests, really. I like that. Also, Cardi B is still basking in her new love life. We talked about her announcing her new album dropping in September. Am I the Drama? There's a little controversy from some of the fans because the album is already 1.5 million platinum sold because some of those singles that Cardi has randomly been dropping through the last few years, they're going to be included on the album. Which technically, yes, but Some people are upset about that. But not Cardi. She is on a European vacation with her boo, Stephon Diggs, New England Patriots wide receiver. And she is over the moon because Stephon rented out a castle for them to stay in. Not an average hotel, not a resort, a castle. That's wealth, y'all, And I'm low-key excited about this, but unsure. So there are rumors buzzing that at next year's Super Bowl, the halftime performer might just be one Jay-Z. Now, we know Jay has the catalog, right? We know Jay has the guest features. I love Jay in concert, but I'm like, what does he do? He doesn't have any dancers. Like, he can command the stage, but does that go for Super Bowl? Obviously, Kendrick brought us to another level and showed us there are things that can be done in all sorts of formats and ways. I'm talking about for a rapper. I know Beyonce, Prince, Michael, all of those did their thing. I'm just saying. Go ahead, Andy.
You seen Jay-Z perform?
I have several times.
Jay-Z don't need all the hoopla.
I know he doesn't, but it's Super Bowl.
Don't matter.
All he needs is one mic.
One mic. That's all you need is one mic. Drop the beat. Jay-Z gonna rock the crowd.
It's gonna go crazy.
It's gonna go lit. I'm
what?
sorry.
There's so many hits. Like, I don't even know where he could start off at, like anywhere, 14 or 15 minutes. And when you see him live in concert, there's one point, because Jay has so many hits, where he just runs off the melodies, the medley, I guess, of like all of these B hits and other little things. I mean, it's just incredible, right?
It's going to be lit.
He could start off with PSA.
He sure can. Allow me to. Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. He might not play the gutter records, though. You probably not going to hear no Can't Knock the Hustle or anything like that, but
I would love it, though. Take it back.
Jay-Z
Take it back.
Bangers. Hey, if it is officially him, I'm West Coast all day, but it might surpass Kendrick's. It might surpass Dr. Dre and Snoop's.
It could. I very well think that, it has the potential to do so. When we come forward, we're going to get more into these trending topics and headlines. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You ride with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we're proud to be celebrating 4 years on the air, but we know we could not have made it this far without you. We work hard every single day to curate conversations that will enlighten, encourage, and empower you. So, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, a big thank you for your love and support.
You don't know how much you mean to me.
And by the way, if your smartphone did not update automatically, be sure to download our brand new KBLA 1580 app. We think you'll love all the new features, including new ways to send us photos and video in real time. Whenever news breaks, while we're on the air, it's a new dawn, a new day for KBLA Talk 1580. And we're glad you're on this journey with us.
You never turned away, you were right there. Thank you.
Now at Verizon, we have some big news for your peace of mind. For all our customers, existing and new, we're locking in low prices for 3 years guaranteed on My Plan and My Home. That's future you peace of mind. And everyone can save on a brand new phone on My Plan when you trade in any phone from one of our top brands. That's new phone peace of mind. Because at Verizon, whether you're already a customer or you're just joining us, we got you. Visit Verizon today. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
Are you facing an unexpected financial emergency? You need WeFixMoney.com. WeFixMoney.com could help you get up to $3,000 fast. WeFixMoney.com is free to use, available 24/7, and has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. Go to the name you trust, WeFixMoney.com. If you need emergency cash up to $3,000 for bills or anything else, type WeFixMoney.com directly in your browser. That's WeFixMoney.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You are locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. So you know how this goes down. If at any point during this conversation you want to get in, 800-920-1580. Of course, you can hit us up anywhere on social media, KBLA 1580. I'm at Stiletto Jill. Also, join us in the YouTube chat because they're already getting it in. Fahima has already dropped off comments in the chat saying, while Keke Palmer has every right to do what she pleases, however, Darius Jackson was out of his league, and we all know how that turned out. But again, it's not my business. Well, we're going to get into the details of that. But first, let's talk Brandy and Monica. Now, we know that The Boy's Mind dropped way back in 98, and there was a competition, so to speak, not by the two young ladies, but by the crowd, the public, the media, whomever, which pitted Brandy and Monica against each other. So, of course, the only response is to put them on a duet, right? And have them faux battling it out over a young man. We all know what happened with that. It went on to be a multi successful song. Monica named her album The Boy Is Mine, but behind the scenes there was, some beef, some little something happening. We never got a tour with the two of them, but we will now. So not only have the two completely reconciled all of those early years, all of the drama, it's not a rumor, but the incident that happened at the MTV Awards back in the day between the two of them, but they have finally, I'm sure Ray J's really happy because he's the one that started the campaign for this a few years back, and Monica told him to chill out. But Brandy and Monica, they are officially hitting the road for the first time together, 25 years since The Boy Is Mine dropped. And, they appeared on CBS this morning, right, to discuss it. It's going to be a 24-city arena tour. It kicks off October 16th in Cincinnati, wraps up in Houston on December 7th. The LA stop is at the Kia Forum Sunday, November 9th. No excuses, now. Get in there. And, it's not about two legends just grabbing a bag. It's also about the healing that has taken place between the both of them. They were on CBS Mornings, and they admitted that the tension between them wasn't just fan speculation, which we know. It was very real. And there was a lot of confusion, they said, from people that were in their lives at the time that created division. And so, label politics, industry people, who knows who they are alluding to. It certainly kept the fans flamed, right? And it helped the single. But now, the song spent 13 weeks at number 1 on Billboard Hot 100. And they've now obviously reconciled they came together to do the Verzuz, which we all saw. And after that, they have become close and developed a relationship. And they said that, removing the outside noise is helped a lot, and that they are so cool now. They can't stop talking. There's trust. There's love. Also going on this tour with them, Kelly Rowland, Money Long, and Jamal Roberts. So this is a full circle moment for R&B fans. We got some newness in there. We got our millennial icons rocking the stage. And I think it's going to be incredible. Andy?
These new booties, they got to put in some more work.
On the performance stage?
I mean, just in general, I just feel like a lot of our OGs are popping back out. You know, Nas, you know, he dropped, you know, dope albums. LL Cool J just dropped the album. You know, Brandy and Monica are getting together. We just had the BET Awards, which was, you know, in celebration of, you know, 20 years of 106 and Park and all of that type of stuff. So I think everybody that was popping in the late 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s, they're coming back and they're making music pop right now. These new cats, 2010, 2020s.
You know what I was thinking about? This is related to your point, but not related to the topic per se. Your guy, Jello Ball, you know, he had the song of the minute for a second. Got that hot
song of the minute, yeah.
Got that hot Def Jam deal. It's summertime. He should be popping it off right now with something. But we saw what he looked like on the pre-show for the BET Awards. No,
I missed that
he
one.
Performed. He had gosh, who hit the stage with him? Not Mello. Zoe came out on the stage with him. They both looked lost yet again, just hopping around there. And the crowd was trying. They wanted to be with him. They wanted to be in lockstep, but he wasn't giving any performance.
He's a horrible performer.
And to me, it's like that is one of the biggest things missing right now currently with these younger artists. They don't know how to really connect once they hit that stage. And they don't understand how vital that is to their longevity, too.
Yeah. Hey, we've been talking about it so many times. There's no more artist development, right?
Nope.
I was just enamored even with Bow Wow's performance once again. I know he's an OG, but just like, yo, if you want to see somebody perform, especially when it comes to hip hop, that's the man that you probably want to, you know, model your performance after. But speaking of Jello, he did grace the cover of the XXL Freshman of the Year. You know how they have like 10 of them? So, I mean, you know.
Yeah, but is that even credible anymore?
I'm with you. I agree.
And again,
that sucks too.
It does. How can you be? I mean, I think, listen, we know where the authority on hip hop and things of that nature is coming from. These streamers.
Oh, the streamers. Okay.
Yeah. No. These streamers. I'm not saying anyone in particular. I mean, for some, he may not be the authority on hip hop, but he is a voice of a certain segment of the culture. I won't say he's the voice of the culture.
Joe Budden.
I think Joe is up there. Yeah. Joe stays very tapped in. He has a community behind him. Yeah. He pops in on spaces just like he was on Clubhouse. Joe feels accessible. He feels like one of them, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that type of stuff matters. It's just a different time. Yeah. And performance, listen, Lotto had to step it up. Call Tiana Taylor. Call Tiana
Taylor for sure.
I mean, she might be a little bit busy right now. She has a lot going on. A couple of films dropping. Just dropped her visual album, real album, New Boo. All of those things. But Tiana Taylor will get you right. She'll pull it together.
For sure.
Shout out to that. All right. Now, listen. Keke Palmer is ruffling feathers again. You know, when she has the relationship conversation, some people, you know, tend to get a little, But I think that this one is an interesting one. I think it's going to incite some conversation. There's a lot of opinions. We've already heard one from the chat because, you know, the chat is on point. Chat. Shout out to that. So Keke Palmer, as she frequently does, is speaking her truth, right? The multi-hyphenate. She appeared on a podcast and she said, y'all expect me to be with a rich man, but if I was broke, you wouldn't want the date either. She's basically saying that it's a double standard that the expectation is because she is a woman with a certain means, a certain amount of fame, she has to date a man that is with that or above. And she feels like that is untrue and unfair. Let's listen to what Keke had to say.
Nobody cares when a man finds his woman under a bridge.
No, I live for Stedman, but you know that Stedman has for many decades been the butt of jokes.
Yeah, because of gender rules.
Yes.
People feel like because she's Oprah Winfrey, who did y'all want her to be with, Barack Obama? That doesn't make sense, guys. I mean, I feel like that's the weird thing about powerful women, what we're left with. So I'm supposed to find love, but he's got to have a certain amount of money, but at the same time, I got to still be like... Guys, what's going on here? Why am I? Nobody cares when a man finds his woman under a bridge. No one cares.
No one
cares. And I frankly don't care if that's who you love. That's who you love. Why do we have to deal with that?
Yes.
That to me makes no sense. I ain't never look. My daddy told me a man needs to treat you right. He needs to handle and service you in whatever way you need service. Let me tell you one thing that Keke don't need:
money.
From nobody. Now, if you want to give a little something and get my nails done, something cute,
but
I'm fine with
do that? But shouldn't they make that effort?
Yeah.
But
you might still look like Stedman to the world, and that's a great role.
Because
if I was married to, I was with Oprah Winfrey.
Right. You just be sitting up there waiting.
Chilling.
Yeah,
and Stedman, by the way, Stedman's esteemed.
Yeah.
Stedman has a whole career. He's just not Oprah.
Yeah.
So the fact that how dare people compare you to your lover?
Yeah.
I hate that Oprah had to endure that.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate that she had to endure that.
It's
and I
true.
hate that Stedman had to endure that. And that's why I said what I said, because you had a good role. You were supposed to be my Stedman.
Yes.
Come on.
He was.
When I played that for my dad said, yeah, because why did he want to be Stedman?
And that young lady is the problem. Why didn't he want to be Stedman? Now, first of all, love who you love. A relationship is between two people. How you get along, that includes marriage. How you make it work, the rules that you set up for your relationship, that is your business. Do what works for you. I am an advocate of that. The old black spiritual saying, if you like it, I love it. I'm very much into that, right? But I do think that one of the things that Keke is missing in all of this is, Andy's like, missing is the reason why people advocate for you as a woman to have a man that is equal or above is that some, not all, but we can point to a few black women that have experienced this. I'm going to go Sherry Shepherd. I'm going to go to Taraji P. Henson. I'm going to go to Mary J. Blige. There's others, but we'll stop right there, right? That have dated men that were not of the same means that they were, not in the same field per se, not, on the same level. Right? But they love these men and they were okay with it. Even giving them, in some instances, work related or role in that queen's empire, right? But the men weren't satisfied with that. And for some men, some, not all, that are in a position of dating a woman with status and wealth, it feels emasculating to them. And though at first they're chilling in the house, yeah, babe, go take care of it. At a certain point, some, not all, feel overlooked and end up stepping out, being resentful. We know this happened with Aretha Franklin in some of her relationships back in the day. I mean, there's lots of instances that we can point to this and lots of situations where women picking a man, and I'm not saying it cannot happen from a man who has the same, but sometimes, some, not all, men feel inferior in those positions, maybe not immediately, but as time goes on. Now, Andy, I know you got something to say. I see you. Don't hide. Speak your mind.
Okay, so I see you emphasized on several occasions about some, not all. I appreciate that, because if I listen to your stance, if I didn't know any context about anything, it would sound as if a woman of means don't date anybody lower than you. If you're a man, you might want to stay away from a woman of status because you know what? You're going to end up being jealous. That's how it's coming off like, right? But I appreciate...
There's no that is what I am saying. That's what it is. Fair enough. But I don't think that all men in that situation fit that circumstance.
Okay. I really don't have no pushback. I don't have no pushback on what Keke Palmer said. I actually loved 100% of what she had to say because my boy would tell me this all the time. Jay-Z can go to McDonald's and see Beyonce working behind that cashier and go bag her. Beyonce's not going to go to McDonald's and go ahead and bag Jay-Z if Jay-Z was behind the cashier.
You are absolutely right because traditionally, men are valued for what they can provide. Women are valued for their looks and their ability to nurture. Traditionally. So because of patriarchy, what men set up, right, and what some wealthy men use as bait, they lead with their wallet. They lead with their money. So when you are out in the wild, the thing that you are valued for, as set up by men, is your money.
Well, I can appreciate Keke Palmer for pushing back on patriarchy. And what it sounded like from her is like, look, I might want to holler at the dude that's under the bridge.
I mean, she did.
You know what I mean? And it sounds like she's still standing on it. Even though that situation didn't work, shout outs to her for doing that.
I mean, like I said, big ups to Keke. If you like it, I love it. Relationships are between two people. Whatever you do to make it work, as long as you are happy. I stand by that. Like, that's no joke with that. Shout out to Fahima in the chat, adding to the list of black women who have been in situations as such. Jennifer Lewis was scammed by the gym guy. She absolutely was. There's a couple of others. She talked to a man that I'm sorry?
Kevin Federline.
You know, Kevin Federline did it to Britney. I mean, there's lots and lots of instances of this. I believe one of Cher's young ones back in the day might have got her for a little bit. So I am just saying, we've seen it time and time again. And that's why the aunties, the elders are saying, be careful, Keke. When we come forward, we'll have more trending topics and headlines. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Get away is my time to shine. If you didn't know, the boy is mine.
Are you ready for the hottest entertainment scoop in Los Angeles? She's bringing you exclusive interviews with today's biggest stars, behind-the-scenes Hollywood insights, and all the entertainment news you need to know. She's breaking down what's trending, what's ending, and what's just beginning in the world of entertainment. You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. New York City officials want changes to the Raise the Age law, which sends most 16 and 17-year-olds to family court instead of criminal court. Bronx DA Darcel Clark, who's black, says it's leading adults to hand teens guns to dodge tougher charges.
The mentality on the street is that nothing happens to those under 18 who possesses or uses a gun.
The push follows a 208-count gang indictment involving 19 people, 9 of them teens. R&B icons Brandy and Monica are teaming up for the Boy Is Mine tour, set to hit 24 cities. The tour kicks off October 16th in Cincinnati and wraps December 7th in Houston. Former University of Michigan DEI officer Rachel Dawson plans to sue the school, saying she was fired for supporting a pro-Palestinian protest. Dawson, who's black, says she was punished for urging police not to arrest student protesters and was treated unfairly compared to non-black staff. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
In Santa Monica, they've moved a crash over to the right shoulder on the 10 eastbound at Centinela. It's a stop-and-go ride from 20th all the way to the 110 freeway, though, all the way across town. In Santa Clarita on the 14 freeway northbound before Plaza Rita Canyon, that wreck is right shoulder, too. Orange had trouble on the 55 freeway southbound before the 22. They did clear that wreck out of the roadway, and it left traffic backed up from Chapman Avenue.
Escape to poolside paradise at MGM Resorts in Las Vegas. Sip on a refreshing cocktail. Lounge in a luxury cabana. Earn on non-stop fun with MGM Rewards. Book a sizzling summer escape today. Visit MGMRewards.com for details.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Lakers fans will be happy to hear this. NBA sources are saying that Luka Doncic has been incredibly committed to his off-season conditioning. He's on a strict diet and has been doing a lot of cardio training. Some people have seen photos of Doncic and they say he looks slimmer. After the Lakers were eliminated in the first round of the playoffs by Minnesota, Coach J.J. Redick said some players on the team need to get in better shape. One of those players was Doncic, who the Lakers are counting on to be the new face of the franchise. Doncic was under orders to commit to an off-season conditioning program. A new and improved Doncic will help the Lakers justify trading Anthony Davis to get him. The LA Sparks will try to snap a 3-game losing streak in the WNBA tonight in Chicago against the Sky. The Sparks are 4-10. Live coverage on NBA TV at 5 p.m. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader. KBLA Talk 1580. Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your black. Follow the leader. Following the leader. Oh my God. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Catch Prep is now enrolling for summer credit recovery in fall 2025. As South Los Angeles' top-performing high school in English, math, and college access, Catch Prep is welcoming all 9th through 12th graders to enroll now. Catch Prep offers a small, supportive, and safe learning environment to help all students succeed, so that all students feel valued, respected, and motivated to reach their full potential. For the past 20 years, Catch Prep has helped more students of color gain admission to top-tier universities, with our graduating seniors earning a total of $3 million in scholarships, more than any other school in Los Angeles. We are dedicated to helping all students turn your college dreams into reality. Catch Prep is now enrolling. Visit us online at catchhighschool.com or call 323-293-3917. Spaces limited. Please enroll now for summer credit recovery and fall 2025. Call 323-293-3917 or enroll today at catchhighschool.com.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach? Transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal? Prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You were locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. This is one of my favorite songs. I don't know why.
Happy birthday.
Saida or Dennis?
Saida Garrett.
Shout out to Saida Garrett. Oh, I loved her so. She also had the hits with Michael, and her pen game is nasty. And I told you, the purple with the red leather gloves. Well, don't look any further. All right.
The video is legendary, huh?
The video is absolutely legendary. I don't know if you guys, I know we aren't supposed to talk about, the others, but did you see when the white people did their version of it?
I did not.
Hilarious.
Was it a comedy skit?
It was comedy. They were just, no blackface, nothing inappropriate. They just put on a tuxedo, and she had on, a little purple top with the gloves and was creeping her hands up his back and just doing the most.
Did they have similar facial features?
No.
Okay.
They were white people with blonde hair.
But you know what I mean by that question.
Oh, you mean like were they doing the Bobby Brown face?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Okay, because Brother Edwards, man, that was a strong face. Man.
It was the 80s.
No, understood.
It was the 80s.
They had a ball.
That's what I say. Man, it was the 80s. All right. Let's get to some of these comments in the chat because they are busy. Pretty Brown Mimi says, Urban Spencer says, I just told my soror, you may not need their money, but take it anyway. Why spend mine when I can spend yours?
So grimy.
But here's the other thing too, right? Maybe them having the finance isn't about them taking care of the woman. Like Keke said, she has money. She could do whatever she wants to. However, if she's flying off to the south of France, you want to go, are you cool with her paying every time as a man?
Some men don't care.
And those are the right. And the ones that it might bother, I don't know. It's just an interesting, precarious situation. That's all I'm saying. But love who you want to. Don't let that stop you.
Why do I feel like I'm hearing this like completely wrong, right? Or maybe I'm reading Mimi's comments a little bit different, right? Like in essence, what I'm hearing Keke say, right? Like, for example, I felt like we talked about it a while ago. What's her name? Lauren London.
Yeah.
Lauren London cannot date the homie that works at McDonald's.
She can't, no.
And that's unfortunate. That's what Keke is talking about, right?
Right.
So, like, I don't see, like, the issue.
But she's saying that, they shouldn't be compared to the mate. But what people are saying is, hey, the reason why we're pulling your coattail about this is that sometimes these situations end up in an ugly place. And there's a lot of history attached to that idea.
Okay. So if you dated a man of means, like everything is about to be perfect?
No, it's
it's
not saying that, but
okay.
No, it's not saying that at all. But the implication, right? The implication is that we all know what is the top reason that people get divorced?
Unfortunately, finances.
So if you can do what you can to level that portion, right, it could be helpful to a relationship.
Understood.
And and again, some, not all. And this probably also is generational. I think, Gen X, boomers for sure.
100%.
Probably in some ways feel differently about a woman being head of household than perhaps the younger generation does as well, right? Morris Phillips says, Jill, people need an emotional connection. Money, education, or ethnicity sometimes are not relevant. Sometimes they aren't. I'm not saying that they are. you like what you like. It is not about what you are attracted to. It's about once the lust settles, once the stars are no longer in your eyes and you're making a go of this relationship and it's day in, day out, right? Money is such a small thing, but it generally is such a large thing in so many relationships, especially those that are in a position where they have a lot of it. I mean, not to bring this up, but let's look at Diddy, for example, right? A lot of the people in his life, again, this is not about side taking or right and wrong, stayed put because they wanted access to that lifestyle, to that money. By that same token, he knew he could move them, control them, manipulate them by allowing them access to that lifestyle and that money. We got to stop acting like it doesn't matter at all. It does. And people change when money is introduced into the equation. Nobody is saying she has to. I want to hear what you have to say, Andy, so I will take a pause.
Okay. So now we're talking about the comparison of an individual who has money and who doesn't have money, right? But Keke Palmer specifically used the example of Oprah and Stedman. Stedman is an individual who has money himself, correct, right? But I think because Stedman doesn't have this quote-unquote status, that's the problem more so than the finances.
So, but here's the thing with Stedman and Oprah, right? It was men that were clowning him. A lot of that. But because he did have a certain, when they met though, here's an important distinction. When they met, Stedman made more money than Oprah when their career started. So it wasn't starting off like that. It happened over time. Again, you are attracted to who you're attracted to. But when you get down to the nuts and bolts of it, we know that month 3 can be very different from we a year and a half into this thing. The conversations are different. Some of the fuzzy stuff might not be rolling. When we come forward, we're going to get into more trending topics and headlines. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least like to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at QuinnEmanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewdd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah.
Well, California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You are locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. More from the chat. Fahima says, and this is about Dennis Edwards when I mentioned the white people doing their version of it. We can't have nothing to ourselves. They also are doing boots on the ground, but don't want Beyonce to do country music. Fair. Royal Jenkins said, Puffy did not do that to J-Lo. He treated her with respect. Did he? We don't know. We don't know what went on behind closed doors. I'm not saying that he had her doing freak-offs and hotel nights. Obviously, too, that's not something that starts like one day you don't and the next day you do it. That's something that evolves over time. But the reason why I just question that in general is that, it was said that Puffy made Jen put a gun in her purse and walk around security and stuff like that. This is a pop star. Why are we paying Bonnie and Clyde? I don't know. Puffy lived life like a movie. He really thought he was in some type of gangster tale or something. Pretty Brown Mimi says, Stedman Graham is a successful man and an entrepreneur, author, motivational speaker. He's not a gigolo like some younger guys looking for a Keke Palmer to mooch off of.
Mimi, you have some animosity or some angst towards either the millennials or something like that. Like, where is all this coming from?
Well,
come on now.
While we wait for that answer, we have a caller on the line, Eric from Carson. Welcome in, Eric. What's on your mind tonight?
Hey, Jill, I just had a quick statement and a quick question.
Of course.
I think that when you're talking about, I said yesterday we were talking about being equally yoked. I think that means that if I am if I have a doctorate degree and you have a high school diploma, I need to try to get you to increase your education. If I'm a pastor and you don't go to church, I need to try to get you to go to church. So I think that's what people need to try to come together. But my question is that I own my own home. I work for the government, just under six figures. Could I date someone like Lauren London? Would I be below her, in your opinion?
You're asking the wrong person. I would not know if you could date Lauren London. Lauren London would know if you could date Lauren London. I mean, it's really a vibe, how people feel. Andy has something for you.
The people would not like that, my brother.
The people would not like it.
And that's what Keke is saying. You know what I mean? I feel like you said, a lot of men was trashing on whatever.
Stedman, yeah.
On Stedman. At the end of the day, it should be the person that you're dating or, involved with. That should be the only opinion that matters. But unfortunately, us as the masses, I'm going to include myself, we going to have an opinion about who you date. And that to me is the unfortunate thing. That's what's unfortunate for you, Eric. You might have the bread, right? But your status, you're not popular. So it's not going to look good.
Here's the thing. There are some there. I'm not going to act like, for example, oh God, I just blanked on her name. Diva Shirley Ralph. She is married to a man that serves in government in some capacity. They spend like 2 weeks a month together or something. They, travel back and forth for their relationship, but she is an Emmy-winning actress at this point, Broadway stage performer, star of screen and television, right? and they make it work. A lot of people, and they've been living apart doing the bi-coastal thing for years. A lot of people would say, that's not a marriage. How can they be faithful? But they make it work, right? And it's between them. And they aren't worried about what anyone on the outside has to say. So, again, it comes down to however the people feel. If you met Lauren London, y'all vibed, and she was like, yeah, I'll slide you my number, there it is. Now, is she going to go Instagram official with you? Maybe not. Maybe not.
And that's also the problem too. It's like, you know that, if you decide to date whoever, your friends, your family, they got the influence.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe you just don't want to hear the
because that definitely has a strong influence on
right.
folks.
I mean, let's not act like it doesn't have an influence on men too, right? Let's say you meet a girl, you see her. Listen, Eric, I'm asking both of you.
None of the fellas, we don't care about what the homie got to say.
That's not true. That's not true. You meet a girl,
when we were
right?
young, when we were kids.
Yeah, when you were younger, you think she's cute. Right, your boys see her and they like, she whack. What? I thought you said she was.
Man, we squabbing. Catch my fade. I mean, that's me.
Are you doing? But let me ask you: is some of the shine off of that? Are you like, well, maybe she isn't cute? Well, dang, her ear is kind of leaning to the left side.
Like middle school, high school, maybe. I'll give you that. But like, once you hit your 20s and 30s, man, we not worried about what the homie got to say.
Okay.
Some of the homies, they done got some mud ducks under their belt, and they are proud of it.
Right. Eric, what say you?
I say that I have gotten many dates because of their friends. Your friends make all the difference in the world. They can make or break you.
That is true. Thank you for calling in, Eric. We always love to hear from you. Shout out to you. Morris Phillips in the chat has a crazy question. I'm just going to put it out there because he must not know. I think he's having a blonde moment. So, sorry to the blondes. I'm currently blonde. Morris Phillips says, Jill, does Alicia Keys' husband have a talent?
He got to be joking.
You got to be playing. Alicia Keys' husband, as in Swizz Beatz, as in the man that co-created Verzuz, as in award-winning producer Swizz Beatz, as in Rough Riders, DMX, many others, Swizz Beatz. He has a few talents.
I think that, sorry to my elders, much love to y'all. And I get it, and I respect it, because I've heard this several times. I think the producers of yesteryear do not respect the producers of today, considering the fact that it was a lot more instrumentation going on. These days, you can pretty much just push a button and you got like a song.
I feel like you could push a couple of buttons too, because does Swizz Beatz? No. Here's the thing: does Swizz Beatz play an instrument? I really don't know. He might. I really am unclear. But there's a lot of guys that have a sharp ear that was strategic with samples, and I'm not mad at that. I just think that the output of some of these producers now is a little lazy and lackadaisical.
I'll give you that.
Pretty Brown Mimi strongly disagrees with you, Andy. She says men do care what their friends think in their dating choices.
Maybe your circle.
Urban Spencer says the dudes would call her a mud duck if they thought the homeboy's girl wasn't attractive. Andy beat me to it. Listen, all types of things,
But I'm going to say this, too, about the fellas. As much trash as they will talk about said girl, behind the scenes,
they'll be trying to pull her.
Mm-hmm.
If you say she's a good girl, if she says she got the banging top, if you say she got money, though, y'all are dirty. All right, listen, let's get into this James Harden story. This is our last story of the night. And all I'm going to say is, gosh. This is a tale as old as time. So, James Harden is being sued in Houston, right? And he's being sued for negligence. A woman claims that she was actually assaulted at his home during a New Year's Eve party. According to the lawsuit, it was filed June 21st in Harris County. The woman says she attended Harden's party at his Houston residence with two friends. Upon arrival, like a lot of parties in Hollywood, phones and personal items were confiscated by security. And, it was a policy reportedly enforced for all guests, so nobody had access to their cell phone. The woman claims she accepted a drink from Justice Armani Blackburn, James Harden's nephew, and blacked out soon after. She says later that she was assaulted while unconscious. Her friends, meanwhile, were allegedly forced to leave the property by Harden's security, leaving her behind inside. And it gets a little worse. She said the woman's sister contacted Harden's own sister, who is also Blackburn's mother, and tried to locate her, and security was sent a photo to confirm she was still in the house, but allegedly lied and said she wasn't there. So they're not accusing James of any direct involvement in any of this, but they are saying that his team's lack of response, their security practices, and negligence contributed to this woman's assault, right? And all I can say is you got to watch your people, right? And the situations on both ends. What is happening? You sign agreements to go into a celebrity's party and leave your phone out, right? But that doesn't mean that you take your club smarts off. Did you see him pour the drink? I just, and I'm not blaming her at all. I'm not blaming her at all, because you shouldn't be drugging anybody's drinks. But I'm saying we also have to, don't get comfortable because it's a celebrity involved. Don't let your common sense go down because he got money though and he's on TV. Don't do it. It's not your fault, but we lock our doors not with the intent that we think we're going to be robbed, but just in case somebody tries us. So those are my little thoughts on that. Listen, we are here every Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. I will get into the Angela Oakley story from Real Housewives of Atlanta tomorrow. But coming up next, you know what it is. That good common sense is about to hit you in the head. Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. I'll get at you guys tomorrow.
I tried to drink it away. I tried to put one in the air. I tried to dance it away. I tried to change it with my hair. I ran my credit card below. Thought a new dress would make it better. I tried to work